I was popping everybody. Welcome to another trade recap, another video. How I lost $1,600 across each account. Now today, honestly, I'm not mad at any of the trades I took. Today, honestly, I think that everything was managed properly. Everything was executed how I would have wanted to. I would have taken all those trades I took again. Just price action was, I was wrong, I guess. Haven't done too much reflection yet, but that's kind of why we're here doing this recap. So let's get right into it. I'm gonna show you my. Actually, I'll just do that later. Let's get into it. First, coming into the day. Let's hide all these. Coming into the day, obviously we had rebounced into the 4 hour. At the time of open, price had inversed the daily opening gap as well and the weekly opening gap. So I'm expecting price to continue to hold the inversion, to sell off to previous day low, London low, Asia low, all of that good stuff. Now I'm gonna highlight where London and Asia low were resting at. This was London low right here, resting at these equal lows around this hourly imbalance. Asia low down here, previous day low right here. So initially I wanted to see that. Now as y'all can see, we have this hourly change in the state right here that I was watching for. We also had NQ reach a lot higher up than ES did. Another thing, YM ended up putting in a bullish SMT at these highs, or not these highs, at these highs. I'll show y'all coming into open. YM put in a bullish SMT right, or bearish SMT right here. Well, yeah, YM put in a bearish SMT. We had the hourly change in the state with this candle, so I'm automatically expecting lower price now. Why did I not get any type of entry up here? There was no clean setup. There was no clean model for me to target London low. Now we did have, initially I was wanting to see if this 5 minute would get inverse coming into open. However, that is clearly not what we got. As y'all can see, 925 didn't inverse it, neither did 930 did, but it was way far from discount, so I did not take that entry. Now, what I did look to take was a potential 15-second, or no, it was a 30-second I wanted to see. I wanted to see us reach back into this 30-second where we got the change in state plus the inversion. I wanted to see us tap into this at fair value gap. We never did. We ended up just completely selling off, and as y'all can see, there was no real entry. Now, the first trade I ended up taking came right here. So this is where the first trade I ended up taking came, and I'm going to tell y'all my hypothesis on it. So first, we tapped into the 5 minute, resting equal lows pretty close beneath us. We had already inversed the daily opening gap, and I did not really expect price to want to come back, because initially I wanted to see this first 5 minute get tapped. This is what I first wanted to see get tapped. However, once we inverse both opening gap, I did not expect that to get tapped anymore, and I expect that to just be a breakaway gap. So from here, I zoomed into the 15-second once we tapped the 5 minute, and we got, was this the entry? Let me turn my execution on so I can just double check. Okay, so yeah, this was my first entry. Right around here with my stop at this high. We had the change in the state plus, I want to say it was a 30-second inversion. Yeah, inversion plus change in the state I ended up taking once we tapped the 5 minute, and we also had an SMT at the 5 minute high. ES had never tapped the 5 minute, NQ did, so we had an SMT paired with everything I basically like to see, a draw on liquidity, a change in state of delivery, plus a inversion fair value gap. Everything I like to see we got. And unfortunately, yeah, as y'all can see, I got stopped out pretty quickly. Price ended up rebouncing all the way back up to the opening gap, where we held that as resistance. And this is where I looked to take my second trade from. My second trade came. Now, this trade I'm not mad at. I think price, honestly, as y'all can see, a lot of these candles leading up to my entry were very inefficient and very slow. So that was kind of probably a me thing. Well, I'm not even going to say that, because everything I wanted to see checked off did get checked off. So I have a resting sell side, previous days low beneath us. We're pulled back into the 5 minute, got the inversion, got the change in state. Now I was going to enter straight off the inversion, but I wanted to wait for full confirmation. So I waited for full confirmation with the change in state. And I wanted to see previous days low, previous week low, all that good stuff. So yeah, we didn't get that. That failed. So from here, I'm waiting still. I'm wanting to see. Now price inverse this 5 minute right here. Now some people went long. I didn't want to see long, although we did have, a form of buy side above us. My whole thing was, first of all, we're still respecting the daily opening gap, and we just tapped into this 15 minutes. So I'm not going to really buy into this little 5 minute long inversion. Now, I know some people might have, I didn't. I just didn't want to see that working, just because we had just tapped the 15 minute and we were still holding the daily opening gap for support. So from there, we tapped the 15-minute, and I entered once we got the, I think I entered like on this candle down here. We got the inversion of the 1 minute, plus we got the inversion of this larger 30-second, which I really wanted to make sure I waited to see get inverse yet. I waited for this 30-second because although we did get the 1 minute, which was a lot smaller, the 30-second to me is what was holding us up. Because we inversed the 1 minute on this candle. And as y'all can see, this 30-second was very large. So I wanted to wait to see that fully get closed through. And once it did, that is when I entered right here with my stop at this internal high. And it's like every time I enter, price just ran right to my stop loss. As y'all can see, seen a little bit of profit. I actually entered on this candle. So I was up in profit a little bit, but nothing ever crazy. We also, at the time of my entry, we were just placing below the EMA. So to me, I didn't mind this trade at all. As y'all can see, look, we were just placing below the EMA. I moved my stop 5 points above that, so it was actually like right here. My stop was, it was a little bit tighter because since we already got the displacement through the EMA, I did not really want to see price come back beneath that. And as y'all can see, just a lot of chop leading up to, you know, my initial entry. Price is ending up still respecting the draw on the query I wanted to see, but yeah, like it was just a lot of just chop, a lot of inefficient price action, and I paid for that. So yeah, I did. Yeah, that was it though. I think honestly today I'm not mad at it. I think that, you know, I was patient. I didn't just try to chase any of these initial shorts up here like I could have. Like the greed in me wanted to a little bit. You know, just the inner human. I'll say the inner human did definitely want to chase this, but I had to think like a trader. I had to think like a logical investor. And chasing this just wouldn't have been smart. Too much that could have potentially went wrong up here. So I was like, I'm gonna just wait for it, wait to see some type of pullback, wait to see price give me a reason to enter. Because if there's no reason to enter, you should not take the trade. No entry, no trading. You know, so I was just trying to wait, trying to be patient. I always emphasize in the group that patience does pay. Patience will always pay you in the long run. If you stay patient, if you stick to your rules, you will be paid for it. Today was just a rough day. Past 2 days have been rough days. I'm down a good amount now. I don't even want to say it for. I'm down, yeah, $1,600 per account. And let me go to my dashboard. What am I down total right now? I don't even think it refreshed yet. I'm down a few $1,000s though. Yeah, it didn't refresh yet. I don't even know, but I'm down a few $1,000 so far on the month. I was in profit from last week, but back in drawdown. So hopefully we can end the month off a lot stronger. Hopefully we can pick it up second half of this week. That would definitely be ideal. But yeah, that is it. That is my trade recap. I'm trying to think anything else. Yeah, I would probably still take these trades again. I don't think they were bad trades. I think that honestly I would have probably just risked a little bit less because we already had this large sell-off prior to my entries. And usually when you see price have strong and efficient moves like this, price will likely slow up. Price action will likely be worse. However, I was more so banking on the fact that we were entering the macro. We still had existing draws on liquidity left. Price should still want to make those moves, what my whole thesis was, and I was incorrect. So I'll take accountability for that. But still, all in all, I was patient. I took the trades I like to take, so I'm not mad at it. But yeah, I hope y'all can learn from this though. I hope y'all can learn from my mistakes and my losses and share with me anything that y'all took from today, anything that y'all learned. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Peace out.